I'm here to file a complaint.
Okay, let me get an investigator over.
Hi.
Howdy.
How's it going?
Good. I was assaulted by your officer, but in policy terms, we would call it an out-of-policy use of force.
Well, I'm not gonna argue with you. It makes it.
This will get the ball rolling on my next steps, okay?
Here's a
Thank you.
copy of the Constitution and the laws that apply for Arizona. You guys
I'm-
don't. You guys don't want a
I'm
I'm
copy
good
of
with the Constitution.
Hello.
Hello,
What's your name?
my name is Jalissa.
Jalissa. I think I just talked to you on the phone. I'm here to file a complaint.
Okay, let me get an investigator over here.
Hi.
Howdy.
How's it going?
Good.
Sergeant Steinberger with Phoenix PD. What can I help you with?
I need to put in a complaint,
Okay.
and then we need to start a chain of evidence for the complaint, so...
Okay. Okay. So, do you know, well, tell me what's going on.
Officer Walter, 8360, I believe his badge number is.
8360, okay.
Yeah, Sergeant Walter, plain clothes with the heat unit. I'm sure you guys have already seen the video. It's been all over your Facebook.
Sure.
I was assaulted by your officer, but in policy terms, we would call it an out-of-policy use of force. So
Okay.
that's what my complaint's going to be. And he has a partner that was with him in his vehicle, and he refused to identify per Phoenix PD policy. So there's going to be 2 complaints on Officer Walter. I haven't identified his partner, but you guys have all that information, so I don't need to do it. Those are the 2 complaints. Out-of-policy use of force, and then failure to identify on the other guy, because Sergeant Walter did identify. But
Okay.
that was after he pushed me.
Okay, and Sergeant Walter was the one who pushed you. That's what
Yep.
you said. Okay.
Real quick, can I get your name and badge number and your name and badge number?
Sure. Sergeant Steinberger, 8676.
I'm Sergeant Jenkins, 7796.
Thank you.
So what, do you either have the incident number or what date did this happen?
It's all on my phone. Happened Saturday, 27th Ave and Bethany Home at 10:30.
So the 12th,
I have
like 2 days ago?
yeah, I'm gonna give you my business card too with the link to the video. Saturday, 10:55 p.m. in Phoenix. So I was on 27th Ave and Bethany Home. There's a prostitution sting going on. It was during the prostitution sting. It was
Okay.
one of the times that you guys undercover picked up somebody, and then they freaked out that I got a little too close, might be filming the undercover. And Sergeant Walter thought it was appropriate to come over and push me. Not cool.
Okay, so the officer, so tell me about the situation leading up to the push.
There is no situation. It happened within a minute, maybe a minute and 10 seconds of me showing up. We saw the lights, we showed up to film, which is completely within our rights. I didn't say anything to anybody, I didn't engage anybody. Even when he walked up to me, I didn't say anything to him, and then he pushed me. And that was the point, then I started engaging with him. But up until that point, I didn't say anything to anybody. Not your detainee, not any of your officers, no citizens on the street, nobody. I
Okay.
stayed well 25 feet away from the incident. There was absolutely no reason to do or say anything to me.
Okay, so.
It's not my problem you guys are doing a sting out in the open like that. That's your job to keep it on the low if you want to make bust, do it in a neighborhood, not on an open street.
Okay, so you're thinking you were about 25 feet away from the officers?
I know I was 25 feet away.
Okay.
There's 3 different camera angles.
Okay.
That's not interfering. Interfering is a physical act. So,
And then describe it for me in terms of where, so you say 27th Ave and Bethany Home. Like, do you know what corner?
There's a Food City right there
Okay.
on one of the corners, and it happened right in front of the Food City.
In the parking lot or on the sidewalk?
On the sidewalk.
Okay. And so plainclothes officers were doing an investigation, and
In
they
a public
were
space.
and they were arresting someone, detaining someone.
Yeah, a prostitute.
Okay, and then you were approximately 25 feet away. Do you know which direction?
I mean, it's all on the video.
Okay.
Any further information, I'm sure you guys can gather from the viral video that's got 100,000 views right now.
Okay. So then you're saying that Sergeant Walter approached you and just pushed
You need to move back. I'm ordering you. Shove. That's not how it
was
works.
the exact same situation. If you look
That is
into-
called an unlawful use of force.
You need to move back. I'm ordering you is approximately kind of like what he said, or the essence of what he said.
I don't have a problem with you filming, but you're too close. And then I threw a bunch of laws on the ground, ARSs that I have laminated in my pocket, and asked him which one was I breaking, and he couldn't tell me.
Okay.
I stated 2 case laws to him, Plummer v. State, which is unlawful use of force. I'm allowed to defend myself if I have an unlawful use of force brought upon me by a state agent, 100%, even according to Arizona state law. Yeah, I'm a little upset. That shouldn't have happened. I didn't engage him. I didn't provoke anything. I wasn't instigating. If my mere presence there is instigating, then that's your personal problem. But as far as legal matters go, I didn't do anything. This is out of policy use of force.
Okay.
And this is going on the internet, so I suggest you guys take this serious.
So when he pushed you, did he use one hand, 2 hands?
He touched me twice. He put his
Okay.
hands on me twice.
So can you describe those to me?
The first time he came up, pushed me, and then the second time I asked him, I'm not breaking any laws. You don't have any crime scene. You don't have a crime scene set up. I'm not in any restricted area. I'm in a public space. You have no lawful reason to be touching me. And he pushed me again. And then I told him about the case law and warned him that I was going to defend myself.
Okay. So when he pushed you, was it 1 hand, 2 hands?
One
Where
hand.
Did he touch you?
I mean, it's irrelevant. It's called out of policy use of force. Any physical contact with somebody that is not a detainee, not an arrestee, and not under investigation does not get touched by a police officer. No physical contact whatsoever. Doesn't matter. You can look at the video. I mean, there's 3 different camera angles.
Okay.
I filmed it. My buddy filmed it, who was open carrying a pistol that your officers walked right past. He has it on his body cam. Tempe Against Police Violence, who I'm sure you're familiar with, has it on his camera, and then my other buddy has it on his camera. So there's 4 different angles of this incident.
Okay.
Your
So-
officers didn't have body cams on either.
So you're talking to me. You're bringing forth the complaint, and I'm
I am.
trying to obtain.
And I'm telling you the
information. Okay,
information.
So I'm
What else do you need to
asking,
know?
Where did he?
Touch me on my arm.
So on your right arm.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, on my
Okay.
right arm.
On
It
your
does-
right arm and you don't know which hand he touched you with?
Listen, I'm not going to go into any further details as far as what happened. There was an out of policy use of force that's going viral on the internet right now. I'm here to put in a complaint. I've given you
We
my
haven't watched
complaint.
that video, so-
I understand that, but here's my card. You can watch it, and
Okay.
you can gain the information from the video that you need from this. There's 3 different videos that I linked in the description. The channels that they were filmed on is linked in the description. This is criminal conduct. I'm just starting right now with the complaint. Do I
Okay.
file criminal charges here, or should I go to the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office and do that? This is
we had-
assault,
so-
intimidation with touching with the intent to intimidate, which is exactly what he did, is assault.
Okay. So here at PSB, we handle the administrative aspects.
Okay, that's what I was. Okay,
Okay.
got it.
So touch you on the right arm. What happened afterward? Like after your encounter with Sergeant
left.
Walters, then what?
He left. He told his
He
buddy
left.
not to identify, and he left. And he's driving around with expired tags too. I don't know. I know that's not legal in Arizona. You cannot have a vehicle on the road with expired tags. So that might be another complaint that's going to get added to this. March 2021 is when the tags expired. That's all over the internet too. So you have undercovers out conducting prostitution stings in an expired tag vehicle assaulting citizens. That doesn't look very good for Phoenix, who's under investigation. Alistair Adele is about to be outed. There's all kinds of shit going on here, and you guys got this going on. Crazy, dude. Ma'am.
Did anyone, when Sergeant Walter approached you, were there any other officers with him?
There was one standing right next to him that wouldn't identify himself.
Okay.
And I want to know who that is.
Can you describe that officer to me?
I can show you a picture of him. He's on video. Are you going to tell me who he is if you know who he is?
I don't know about.
You wanna watch the video?
I don't know if I.
It's kind of
know
short.
him.
This is the raw footage. Excuse my language, I got upset when I got touched. So I thought,
Can you like put it down if you don't want me to hold it so I can get closer?
so I thought this truck had a flat tire, and I walked over there to look at it. Immediately get approached.
Back up, please. Welcome to film. I need you to back up. That is an order.
So we went from please to an order to shoving immediately.
Too close for our stop.
It doesn't qualify under 28-22.
Back up. It's Sergeant Walter, badge 8360. I'm asking you. You're within about 10 yards.
So what? There's no.
Back
Don't touch
up,
me.
or you're gonna go to jail.
You better be filming this shit. This is a lawsuit, buddy.
Dude, you're
And
in
it's
your
this
phone.
other person right to his right that you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm gonna fan to him in a
Public
minute.
area. I can be.
I'm asking you to
You're
back
asking
up.
me. You just said you were ordering me. Now you're asking me. What is it?
That guy.
I haven't done anything illegal. So you
No,
better
but
check
you are
yourself.
too close.
That's
Yeah,
not
I can
illegal.
tell. Yes, it is.
Nah.
It is.
What law is that? State the ARS.
You are too close.
State the ARS.
You are too
I'm very
close.
familiar with Arizona
Safety
Vice
issue.
statutes.
What's the ARS for too close? Please state it.
I carry
You
them
could've come up
in a
with the
pocket
come on, man,
constitution
be
with
nice.
case law.
But you fucking put your hands on me, you stupid
I asked you.
motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck you, dude. This is a freedom of speech. Dude, I know my rights.
Just-
I got laws in my pocket right
Which
here.
is fine. I
I
asked
got
you.
laws. You want to see the laws?
You guys are
Here's
asking. I
Houston
did
versus
ask you.
Hill.
I did
Here's
ask you.
Houston versus fucking Hill for interfering. I got ARSs right here. You want to see the ARSs?
fine.
You
That's
want to
fine.
see the fucking ARSs? I carry laminated ARSs in a fucking
So-
pocket constitution, you stupid motherfucker. Which one do you want to see?
It's a
Excuse my
grassy,
language, I was a little
right
upset
here.
for being
Look
touched.
at these ARSs.
the grassy area.
ARSs. Which one do you want to see?
Is
Which
that
one am I
like
fucking
in a-
violating? They're
That's a
all
public
right.
area.
Well,
Which one am I fucking
It doesn't matter. I know where you're
violating?
going with
All the
that.
laws
It's a
are
public
right there.
area.
well, I'm trying to.
You're going with trespassing. I know where you're going. That's a public area.
I'm not. I'm trying to ID which corner this is.
I mean, the Food City is directly behind me. I am directly in front of it. There's a
Okay,
huge
so you're
parking lot with
facing-
multiple businesses.
Food City's directly behind you?
There's a
Unlawful use of force, motherfucker.
a
I'm not detained.
crosswalk
I haven't broken any laws.
right
You
in
don't
front
fucking touch
of
me, punk.
The Food City to the right. If you were standing out the Food
What are you
City
gonna
doors,
do?
there's a
Okay.
crosswalk that's
You're
happening
gonna
right in
stand
front
here
of
and
the
look
crosswalk.
stupid like you fucking already are. Good job, asshole. You just
Okay.
fucked with the biggest channel in there.
Yeah, he's gonna be famous in the morning. Hold on. That guy.
And then are you
what's your
able
name
to
and your
send me
answer?
this?
No, I'm not gonna give you the raw video, but it's all posted online. I didn't edit anything but my language out.
Well, I don't mind the language, so I'd like to
Yeah, I know,
see
but-
the entirety of the video so that I can.
The entirety of the video that you just watched is on YouTube, not edited as far as things taken out, except for muting my language. So there's nothing wrong with that video. I've gotten officers found guilty of out of policy use of force based on live streams off YouTube. So it doesn't matter if it's on YouTube or not. It
But
doesn't
the
matter.
thing is, you even just said that part of the video was muted.
Part of my language, all the
Okay.
cussing, that's
And
irrelevant to
it's
being
it's
pushed.
not necessarily
It is irrelevant. It is,
The
because I didn't say
overall-
anything before I was assaulted. We're here for an out of policy use of force. We're not going to sit here and pick apart my behavior or anything that I did. You're not going to turn this around on me.
Nobody's turning anything around.
Dude, that's what you're trained to
We
do.
just need an unedited copy of the
You
video.
don't need anything but my complaint. I mean, if I didn't have a video and I came in here and had a complaint, you don't need shit.
We would still take your complaint.
You would
although
still take it.
Obviously, the videos is a part of validating what took place.
And it's online. It's got 100,000 views right now. Feel free to watch it.
Well, I'm not gonna argue with you. It makes it.
You're sitting
makes it
here
that much-
arguing.
it makes it better.
No, you're trying to make a point, and remember, this is going to go online. You're trying to play somebody that doesn't get played. You're not going to fucking win with this, dude.
Okay.
Just do your
So-
job, take my complaint, give me a copy of the complaint so we can start the chain of evidence and let's get the ball rolling. This dude's guilty of out of policy use of force. You're looking for a reason to not find him guilty. That's not going to work with me.
So
That's your job. The blue line.
All right, how about a good email for you?
Well, we can do CopsGoneViral@gmail.com.
Common spelling of all that?
Yep. Police accountability is coming to Arizona, folks.
And then do you want to provide an address?
No address, that's not necessary. I'll give you a phone number. I already gave you my phone number. No, I gave you everything you needed.
And so you're alleging the
Out of policy use of force.
the use of force by Sergeant Walter and the refusal to give ID by the second officer that was standing to his right. Well,
To his right, my
and
left.
To your left
Yep.
in the video, correct?
Yeah, let me
And did
make
you
sure
mention,
his.
did I recall that you mentioned that, did Sergeant Walters tell that officer not to
Yep.
ID?
Yeah, I followed him to his truck trying to get that guy's name and badge number. And about the fourth time I asked, he looked at him and said, "Don't talk to him, don't tell him," or something, and he ignored me and got in the truck.
Were they in the same truck or which
Yep.
truck?
Same truck. I'll give you a license plate here in a minute.
If you're in lawful use of force, you better check
Hold
yourself.
on.
You want a lawsuit? What's your name and your badge
Back
number?
up. Sergeant Walter, badge 8360.
8360.
You're within about 10 yards.
About 10 yards.
Yeah, 30 feet, genius. CMG 8829 is the fake tag or the fake license plate that came off of an impounded vehicle. Yeah. CMG 8829.
That was on the truck.
Yeah. But that came off of an impounded vehicle, so it's probably going to be in a pile of license plates somewhere.
Okay. So again, to reiterate, your complaint is against Sergeant Walter for use of force and the other
Out of
officer
policy
for not
use of
IDing.
force. Yep.
Okay, so what's gonna happen is I'll go in, run up to my office roll number real quick, create a investigation number for you so that I can give it to you before you leave. And then from there, I'll start and review the information and start seeing what's going on. If anything's already started by someone else for something, if you're saying it's online and it's viral.
You want to see? I'll show you. Angry cop gets owned. What does that say? One day, 101,000 views. So,
Okay.
a lot of people do not like what they just saw.
Okay. Do you have anything else to add that you think I know for going forward at this point?
No, I think that's sufficient. I do have a point to make about this.
Sure.
The criminal charges were found not relevant in his case because they tried to cite refusing to obey an officer. Now, I have no obligation to obey an officer when I'm not involved in a traffic stop. So if you guys are going to look for this as a loophole, that whole refusing to obey all revolves around traffic incidents and the detainee at a traffic stop with a police officer invested in controlling traffic. So if that's an out, you're going to look for this, it's not going to work, and I'm just going to make Phoenix look worse. So I would appreciate it if you take this serious.
Okay. All right. Like I said, hang tight for me for a few minutes. Let me run up to my office, get you that number, and I'll come back down. And this is you making a formal complaint, and this will get the ball rolling on my next steps. Okay?
And here's a
Thank you.
copy of the Constitution and the laws that apply for Arizona. You guys
I'm-
don't. You guys don't want a
I'm
copy
good
of
with
the
the Constitution. Thank you. And then
They refused.
hang tight for me, and we'll be back. Okay?
I actually have a copy of the Constitution myself. So.
You keep it with you at all times.
I don't
Is it
have
on you
it
right now.
I don't have it on me right now, but I do.
You should keep.
absolutely love
When
I
you're wearing that
challenge you to
badge
name
and
me
gun,
5 points of the First Amendment right now.
the 5 points
Alright.
of the First Amendment.
Come on back here.
Okay.
You should. When you have that badge and gun on, please keep the Constitution with you. They turn down copies of the Constitution.
Not surprising.
No.
Wow. I can't believe they turned down the constitutions. That blew my mind a little bit.
People aren't gonna like that one. They could have accepted it and thrown it in the trash right in there.
Right, at the other side of the door.
Yeah.
That, you know, it's just another example of just not being grateful, you know?
Thank you. Okay. So here's going to be your investigation number to start with. And like I said, I'll start looking into this and take a look at your video, I don't know, obtain information, okay? And we'll go from there.
All right. How about how long do you think this is going to take before I hear something? I mean, it's pretty cut and dry, so I'd imagine it wouldn't take that long.
It's Tuesday. I would expect to have an idea of what's going on. I don't know, within about maybe 30 days or so.
All right. You got my email, my phone number, and all that good stuff?
Yes.
Do you want this card, or should I take it and not get charged with littering?
No, I wrote it down, so
Okay.
to give it back.
It wasn't a gift. I know you can't take gifts.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in.
Yep, I appreciate your time.
Take
All
care,
right.
guys.
Have a good one, y'all.
Got all my stuff right.
Yeah.
That's your constitution.
Yep, on purpose.
Heavy as shit. There we go. What's up, folks?
Well, another,
Welcome to Phoenix.